Hi everyone, so I'm here to do our results video and I'm going to stand back and let you see me. Keep in mind I dieted for 2 weeks and I was chubby when we started and I'm still chubby now, but I lost a total of 7 pounds. I am in menopause. I'm 52 for those of you who haven't seen my videos in my shorts before. My name's Molly. Hi, thank you for being here with me. So technically I think it was 6.9 pounds I lost in 2 weeks. I had a plan and that plan was kind of an experiment. I wanted to do what I used to do when I was just before I turned 36, and I only just turned 52 about 3 months ago. I wanted to see if those old tricks still work because, you know, they say when you get to menopause your old tricks don't work. So granted, a lot of the 7 pounds was water weight, I'm sure. But on the other hand, I didn't stick with my plan very well at all, and I still dropped, I'm gonna just call it 7 pounds, okay? So let's get into what I did, what I'm gonna do from here, because I still would like to lose, let's see, so today I do weigh 136.4. We started at 143.3. And you can go back through all my videos and all my shorts and kind of see my journey and how I got here. But I'm going to give you the specifics of how I didn't really stick to the plan that well, but it worked anyways. And since I'm at 136.4, my goal, to keep it realistic, is by Halloween, and today is September 19th, my goal is to lose another 8 to 12 pounds, and we're going to keep going after that, okay? So, I mean, most of my life I weighed about 108. So this whole menopause thing sucks, okay? So let's, so we're going from a diet plan to, it's still a diet plan, but it's more of a detox focus because my thinking is this, and all of this is, it's an experiment, but I definitely want results. So, no, I didn't go to the gym once in those 2 weeks either. So you don't have to go to the gym to do any of this. You don't need any equipment or anything. I do have little dumbbell weights, and I did lift those a little bit, but we'll get into the exercise portion later. I can do a timestamp. So this experiment, they're always talking about building up your muscles, and that way you've got the muscle mass and you maintain it and you don't, so that you're better able to burn calories. And I definitely believe in calories in, calories out, but I know there's a ton more to it because we wouldn't have issues in menopause if it weren't for all the hormones and stuff. So, sorry, that's why I always have my notes so I can remember what I'm going to say. But this experiment's more about detox. I want to make sure, to the best of my ability over these next, it's approximately 40 days, my liver is working as best as it can. As a note, I don't drink. I've never drank in my life, so there's nothing I need to detox like that. It's just all the bad food. I love fast food, and this plan that I'm doing is compatible with fast food. Everything is for convenience. I'm good at when things are convenient. I don't cook. I only learned how to cook a few years ago. Just not my thing. I will cook, here and there, and I did for this plan what I've done and what I will do a little here and there in the future. So let's talk about what I did compared to what I was supposed to do, and then what we're gonna do going forward, okay? So what I used to do was I had fiber every single day, and we used to have these fiber bars, but I don't have those now because I like this cereal. This cereal with almond milk and blueberries and strawberries is non-GMO. And you just have a little bit, the serving size, it's about 1/3 a cup or 1/2 a cup. It says 1/2 a cup on here. I sometimes had 2/3 of a cup this time around. And I used to walk 3 miles a day, 5 days a week, okay? One time in the 2 weeks, I did a 3-mile walk. Otherwise, I averaged about 15 minutes a day. So as far as exercise, and I will recap this at the end as well, my feeling is I only need approximately 20 minutes of walking a day, but I also did, on average, because some days I lifted my little weights and some days I didn't. On average, I would say I did 12 to 15 of the repetitions a day. I took the little barbells and I just up and down like this, and they are 8 pounds each, so 16 pounds. I can lift more than that. In the gym, I used to do 20 pounds, but that doesn't matter. So just a little bit. You don't need a ton of exercise to do this, okay? Rather than do my fiber this time around and my walking, I ate a lot of breakfast burritos from Salad and Go. Now, I know most states don't have Salad and Go, and I know that sounds crazy, and it wasn't a good thing to do, I'm sure. But I still lost the weight. I think a lot of it has to do with not eating at night and not snacking. There was only one night, because I did mess up twice, big time. There's only one night that I actually did eat towards night, and that was the other night, in fact. So I also back then used to, as my second meal, and I did, you know, it's funny, I inadvertently had done somewhat intermittent fasting. Sometimes I would eat at night back when I was young and I lost the weight if I was really hungry, or I was going out with my boyfriend or whatever it is, and I had Fat Burger and I had, Burger King and McDonald's and all the bad stuff, but very minimally, and I think that's the key. I like fast food because it's convenient. On the plan going forward, and I've already started, today's actually day one, I'm going to do Panera bread. Now, that sounds funny, but it tells you right in the title, bread, and we are going to focus on lower carb. You can get up to 50. I prefer to do lower, 20, even 10, but I know that's really hard to do. But I want this to be sustainable, okay? And I like my bread, but we're not going to eat a lot of bread, or definitely not the pastries at Panera Bread, even though that was another screw up I had in those 2 weeks, and I'll get to that in a minute. So very limited the things I can eat at Panera Bread, but I chose Panera Bread, and I also may go to Chipotle, maybe Chick-fil-A once in a while, because I did do that in the first 2 weeks. I like Chipotle and Panera Bread because they make an effort not to have palm oil in the food, and I think that's the worst of the bad oils, palm oil, okay? So this is just an iced coffee. It's just black coffee over ice, and it was surprisingly good. So I like that. We're off to a good start there at Panera Bread. So what I would do for my second meal of the day, we would do fiber in the morning, all the walking. Second meal of the day, I had my choice. Once a week, I could get a Happy Meal at McDonald's. I usually just stuck with the hamburger. I avoided cheese. I'm gonna do that going forward. I'm a little bit lactose intolerant. Everyone's different. I think that with a detox program, especially for someone like me, should not have dairy or keep it very minimal, because I think for me that increases inflammation, and if you can get rid of that inflammation, you're going to drop the weight. So that's my thinking on it. So back then, yes, I could have had a Happy Meal once a week as my lunch, or I would have some fruit, a lot of melon, watermelon, what else? Honeydew, cantaloupe. I think pineapple's really good for you. I don't think I did that much back then. This time around, these last 2 weeks, I did eat my watermelon approximately every other day. I think it's really good for hydration, as well as cucumber is really good for hydration. I barely had any cucumber the last 2 weeks. However, when we talk about detox, we also talk about the plastic bottles and how they're so bad, and I agree with that. I'm starting out now every day with some water with lemons first thing, and I have low blood pressure just a little bit, and that's actually good for people with low blood pressure. It gets the volume of your blood up as well. So for a while I've been doing approximately 12 ounces of water each morning. What I think is great, and what I did here and there, not necessarily on any plan, but here and there, I have gotten some of these organic juices from Walmart. This one I didn't end up drinking, this 100% pomegranate juice, because it's full of sugar, and I could feel it and I don't like it. But anyways, glass. So I take the glass and I'd have a few of them, and I'd walk over to where they have the water refill things, cost like 50 cents, 35 cents, whatever, and I'd refill these and just put them in the fridge, and I would drink from these. That's better to avoid some of the plastic. So I will be doing that again, maybe also as a way to get my exercise in for the day, because I'm not going to increase it. 15 to 20 minutes of walking, a little bit of weightlifting every other day. I may go to the gym, but I didn't have to, and I'm just, it's not convenient for me, so I don't like to do it. Okay, so like I'm saying, fiber in the morning. I'd have a salad in the afternoon sometimes. I did that on this plan. I get my salad from Salad and Go or wherever. Sometimes I get these ready-made salads at Walmart or wherever it is. You can get them anywhere, Kroger. This is, it's funny. I thought this one had spinach. It doesn't. So one of my big detox things going forward is going to be spinach. It's going to be the basis of a lot of things. I'm going to do some smoothies. I'm going to do salad with spinach. Mostly ready-made, and I'll be sure to grab the right one this time. On these last 2 weeks losing weight, I did do salad quite often. So, or we could do soup, was back in the day what I used to do. This is not one I would recommend, excuse me, but it is one I had in my cupboard. Just a broth-based soup, and I may eat it here and there just because I have it, and I don't like to waste things. So it's another thing that, maybe held me up a little. So, let's talk about the things I did. Well, I'm going to call it that I did it right. Okay, so there was 2 days where I didn't stick to the diet, one of which was the first time I went to Panera Bread. I had one of their sandwiches, which is not going to be a thing I'm going to do going forward into these next 40 days. But that wasn't the screw up. It came with chips, and I got a brownie too. So that's not, that's really not sticking to the plan. The other thing I did was I got home from work like at 7 one night, which is past my eating window. I typically, whenever I'm reducing weight, don't do dinner. And I had a handful of cookies. I got these ginger snaps, and I like ginger snaps. Okay. What I did do right, I had lean cuisine a couple times, and it's just really good with the low calories and everything. The one I got was non-GMO. I can't remember. I showed it in another video. There's actually a short. If you go back through it, I'm just kind of holding the box, and it's chicken with some sort of wild rice. It's a protein kick one. A lot of carbs in there. It was 30-something carbs, very low on the fiber, but I think that was good. So I did that. And that's about it. That's what I've done these past 2 weeks to lose 6.9 pounds. I'm going to call it 7 pounds. And going forward, we're still going to do 2 meals a day. We're going to be focused on detox. Like I said, spinach is good for detox. Lemon is good for detox. So put the lemon in the water in the morning and wherever else. Sometimes you can use it instead of salad dressing. Something I've always been really good at is these broccoli sprouts, which is supposedly one of the more healthy foods you can eat for the sulforaphane, which is supposed to be anti-cancer, and we all want to prevent that for sure. If I get a sandwich, I had a breakfast sandwich this morning at Panera. It's the avocado with the egg white. I would have preferred a full egg, but that's okay. And you just don't do it with the cheese, and it's on a whole grain bagel flat. So I got that. It was actually pretty good. And then I just kind of sneak in some of these broccoli sprouts, okay? And it helps, the sulforaphane is helpful to the liver to help you detox. So that's a thing I'll be doing. When I do have my fiber cereal, I will add my flax seeds, my ground flax seeds. And I've got my blueberries. I like fruits, even though with keto, and we are keto, so we're not going to do too much fruit, but the kiwis are really good. I haven't mentioned those before in a video. I've got my blueberries, of course. And with almond milk, when you get almond milk, be sure to check the ingredients. It should be like almonds and a couple other things, water and one other thing. It shouldn't be a big old list of stuff. Walnuts. The nuts are really good for snacking. I like walnuts. They're much easier on the teeth than almonds. I grind my teeth. I actually cracked a tooth. So the dentist said. I don't believe the dentist. Messed up my mouth, honestly. But anyways, I think on an almond if I really did have a crack there. I think they're full of crap, but that's beside the point. That's not what this video is about. Coconut oil. So we're going to be using coconut oil. I've used this for a long time, and this is really good too if you have any cavities or any dental issues, to swish this in your mouth for 20 minutes. It's supposed to pull out any sort of decay or anything. And it's like a brand new jar. I've had it a while because I never use it like I'm supposed to, but the teeth are good, you know. Get a second opinion with the dentist, guys. It's my best advice to you. One time in the last 2 weeks, I did do the carb balance tortillas, and we put the wild caught Alaskan pink salmon in it, and I add some tomatoes. It's actually really good. You can add mustard. Mustard is really good, very keto friendly. I only did that one time. I actually want to stay away from the low carb tortillas. I will use them if I need to, so I don't mess up the diet, but they've got too many ingredients. This is good. Obviously, wild caught salmon that you actually bake, which I will be baking probably a lot more than usual in the next 40 days. I'm going to be eating that. And oh yeah, here and there, even though there's too much dairy, the protein shakes, I think they're great. They're helpful. I just don't want to overdo it on cheese and things. Another thing I ate the last couple weeks, grapes, which is a high sugar fruit. Watermelon is too though, but I find watermelon with the magnesium and everything just so good. And grapes, oh, and cheese. Cheese is not for me. You know, the little cheese cubes and whatnot, they have no carbs, and so everyone gets those. And they get them in the little, you can go in the grocery store, you know, and they have the little plasticky things that, you know, you have like the crackers and the tuna salad and the grapes and the cheese. So I did a couple of those in the last few weeks. And I also got some chia seed pudding, which was nice. So, you know, it's ready made. I love to just get it, and just makes my life easy because I don't like to do stuff. But I just bought these from Amazon. They're, what is it, BPA free. And I'm gonna do my own little things, even some crackers, but see how small it is, that it's just such a small portion that it's not gonna be the end of the world. Like if you really, really want something and you have a craving, just do a little cube of it, and don't do it every day, and it'll be fine. It's not gonna mess you up. You know, you might lose slower, but it'll be more sustainable. And yeah, I wish I lost more than 7 pounds, but I'll take it, even if most of it's water weight. As we go forward with the detox, it's all gonna be fat. We're gonna burn that fat, we're gonna get rid of it. And this is gonna be how? Portion control. It's gonna be a big part of it. So the only other, oh, and I have these too in case there's an actual, you know, I make salmon one day, I bake it, I want to take it to work. You know, you put it in the big part, and you still have 2 little compartments down there for the little sides, maybe some baby carrots or, you know, whatever it is. Carrots, of course, are not that keto friendly. I've got my green tea, cabbage. And I brought this too because this I just wanted to show you guys this. This strainer, this is not a strainer, I've used it as a strainer though. It's a steamer for Brussels sprouts. I was so healthy at one point in my life. I actually used to steam the Brussels sprouts. I wouldn't put anything on them, and I'd bring them in a little bag and I'd snack on them at work. Can you imagine? But you know what's so good about that is they are cruciferous vegetables. And you know that when you're in menopause, you've got the estrogen and everything going all kinds of directions, making you gain weight, contributing to that as you're losing the muscle mass naturally, and therefore burning less calories. And fiber, and as well as the cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, the kale, the cabbage, you know, those help to get the bad estrogens out so that you don't hold on to the toxic stuff and you don't have the weight. You know, and I'm not obviously one of these workout people. I'm not one of these scientist people. I'll show you my bicep there. But you know, it's just an everyday thing. This is what you can do convenience-wise every day for the next 40 days. I'm gonna do it, and you can see how it works on me. I'm 5'1", by the way, so you know you can still see I've got weight on me, and I'm not excited about it. But you know, we definitely improved. Cabbage. I like cabbage now as far as my favorite cruciferous vegetable, and you know you can just rinse it off, tear it up into pieces, and just put it in one of these little squares, and then you're getting that. It's a great detox, and that's what we're focused on for the next 40 days. So I hope that was somewhat coherent. I don't mean to ramble. I will make notes and all kinds of good stuff in the comment section, and I will also timestamp the exercise portion, which is this. Walk 20 minutes a day, get your fresh air, get your exercise. You can do it in the gym too, on the treadmill, but with your music, okay, but walk. And maybe every other day, do a little bit of the weight lift with the little dumbbells. No big deal. Do like 3 sets of 12 apiece, and that's good. That's all we need. Cook once in a while. I did cook some ground lamb over the last 2 weeks, and I put that into the low carb tortilla with some tomatoes. I don't always do the mustard, but the mustard's good. And that was good too. So I know that will keep the carbs low and get you losing. You can do that, of course, with ground beef. You can get the grass finished ground beef, grass fed. It's pretty mainstream, pretty much everywhere these days. And that's what I got for you from my results. Thank you again. Check the comments, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Oh, and this is my kitchen, by the way, in case you can't tell.